The Committee Encouraging Corporate Philanthropy, CECP, is the only organization in the world of just CEOs, global CEOs, focused on an agenda of corporate responsibility and philanthropy. As such, we are an advocacy. We engage CEOs, which is the most important thing we can do. We also, though, help them measure their corporate social investments. In fact, we have the landmark online, on-demand program. In that, we know exactly what's happening in the health broad area. In fact, it is the largest section. Roughly 40% of total corporate giving in the United States is to health and health services, as compared to 25% total for education, both K-12 and college. So we do not tell companies that they only medical. We could do that, by the way. And I'm so passionate about goals 4, 5, and 6. Why would we not all spend our resources? But there are a lot of other needs as well out there. So our job is to help them count it. It's to help them relay best practice. We give them the only Excellence in Corporate Philanthropy Awards, that sort of thing. That's our business of at the CECP, is to help companies better invest. Finally, that'll be it on this, but when companies understand that their social investments, however they care to define it, are a core business strategy, then they make a difference for their employees, for the recipients of the giving, for the value chain or supply chain, and so on. And that's where the medical, the health and well-being and the medical services and so play such a vital role. And as you can imagine, the committee is made up of a lot of pharmaceuticals and insurance, health insurance companies, and that sort of thing. Well, that's a great question. Why CEOs and what's the sweet spot? CEOs have the rich or rare potential and the shared responsibility to advance solutions to many of the world's greatest societal challenges. Maybe some of the most important are the MDG goals. So a CEO is in a position to make a difference. When we survey, which we do every year, how involved are you, CEOs only, how involved are you in your corporate social investment or contributions program? We get a very consistent answer. 90% say they are involved or very involved. Now that's a long, wide latitude, and it depends how involved they really get. But I can tell you that from my experience of 13 years, that CEOs do care. There is a higher purpose in them, in their life and in their corporate life, and it's getting better and better. We're counting in real terms, the corporate contributions per se is not necessarily increasing, but the effectiveness of it is, the intent of it is, and corporations are bringing more and more of the assets, not just the money and not just the product, but most importantly, the people. This conference here is all about the work that is being done by HP and so many in terms of volunteer. We're talking about hundreds and millions of hours of volunteer service. That's all really well placed. It's really important. Well, yes. This is my first GBC conference. This is my 2075th conference of sorts like this. I'm running a lot of them myself. But so I do take away these top three. One is it's run very professionally. It starts on time, it ends on time, and the food is good, and the speakers are good, but there's a sense that this is important, and why wouldn't we do it as well as it could be done? Two, you have very good staff supporting us. That's what finally makes it, is that you have all these fancy speakers and so, but you need staff, because that's where it falls apart. It's all the details and so on. Three, I typically don't favor a hotel as opposed to a big companies. My CEO, not mind you, I'm only dealing with CEOs now. They kind of like to go to a quote business area as opposed to a hotel and that sort of thing. And so I've never been to a conference here at the Roosevelt, but they do a very good job. Look at these spaces here, all kinds of special meeting spaces. So it's well appointed for an effective conference like you're having. You have, I know I'm supposed to stop at 3. You have very good speakers. I'm much impressed. I know how hard it is to get this person, that person, the mayor. I've had Cory Booker speak. I've had Bloomberg speak. I've had President Clinton speak, and on and on. I know how hard that really is, and you've attracted them all, which, for me, it means only one thing. The GBCHealth mantra is important, and therefore it gets on the top of the list for all these very important people you have, and they're really laying it out in terms of your sessions are short, which is good. You don't allow enough time for questions. That's always a problem. Always a problem, because if you have 3 panelists, moderator, in an hour's time, not going to get questions from the audience, just by definition. So I suppose that in the end, when you're doing your lessons learned, you'll say, okay, how do we get more questions from the audience? Because they do want to be a part of it. Well, actually, I've attended 2, and I'll go back to another one. I like the one led by the Chevron lady is terrific. She's also a director, but I know for a fact that the determinant of a panel is not the panelists; it's the moderator. They make you or break you. This do. And you have all good moderators, so that gets it set up, and why wouldn't you have the best of subjects? And I love you could break this down, and effectively have into the 3 millennium goals, the youth, maternal, and then the attacking these awful diseases, and it's more or less plays out that way, and so it's a good job. Nicely done. Good job for you.